Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. Because I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it? A movie which, by the way, reviewed by my mother, the review was, "Thank God you were on early because we couldn't watch any more of that thing."
You got a wide berth here.
Well, this is a good scene. We're watching the infamous dildo scene.
You got trolled.
You were in, too.
Shut the fuck up. No, I didn't say shit. You got trolled. Corey West just trolled you.
Real script.
They didn't even give him a script when he got the job. They gave him a bottle of Stoli and said, "Learn this."
Did you stumble on the joke?
Talk about this movie for fart's sake.
This is we can swear. This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
Internet, and welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast. This is a drinking variety podcast where I have my friends and various guests on, and we talk about life. Think of it kind of like a drunk heart-to-heart with a friend every single week. So how is everybody doing? Things are finally starting to get kind of back to normal after the 12-hour live stream that I did. I hope you guys enjoyed the highlights episode that I put out last week. All of that footage is still up on our YouTube channel, and that is just Intoxicated. If you search on YouTube, you can find our channel, and that has the full live stream, and it does also have the different segments cut up as well. Still can't believe that happened. I'm still kind of reeling over it. It was insane. I want to give a huge thank you yet again to anyone who tuned into that live stream, and also to anyone who voted for us in the Coast Best of Halifax Reader's Choice Awards. We're not going to know till November if we placed or not, but oh my gosh, thank you so much to anyone who voted for us. But things are somewhat back to normal on Intoxicated, and we have a new episode this week that I'm super excited about. This was recorded a little while ago. We have my new content creator gal pal, Moxey Munchies, on the podcast. This is another person that I stalked through the internet and was essentially like, let's be friends and you should come on my podcast. So I want to tell you about Moxie. She is a YouTuber who does food and travel. She has a super fun YouTube channel where she will try various ridiculous foods. She'll do really fun challenges on there, and also she does a lot of vlogging when she travels. So this is a really, really cool YouTube channel. I super dig it. I was so excited when she agreed to come on. So what we did was we sat down and chatted for a little over an hour. We just had some normal chit chat. I really loved getting to know Moxie. We talked a lot about food and our different habits with food and sort of what it's like to do content based around indulgence. So in her case, food, in my case, alcohol. It was very, very interesting. I'm still so fascinated about her life and feel like I've only scratched the surface with her. So really enjoyed that portion of it. And then we did a mukbang, which is still up on our Facebook channel. So if you want to watch the full mukbang, make sure you like us on Facebook. That's Intoxicated Podcast, and check that out. So what I did for this, where the mukbang footage was a little bit long, first part of the mukbang is actually us going over nostalgic foods from my childhood, because one of my fave videos on Moxie's channel is she did a Blend My Life video where she took all her nostalgic foods from her childhood and blended it all and drank it, and I was like, that is amazing. So I didn't blend them, but we did talk about the nostalgic foods from my childhood. That portion of it is in this episode. The second half of the mukbang is we did a candy bar tasting, all these candies from the UK that she brought over. Very, very different stuff, and it was very, very fun. So if you want to check out that part, hop on over to Facebook and check out the video. It's all on there. The video was streamed when I still didn't really know what I was doing with live streaming, so the audio was a bit echoey. And you want to know what? I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm learning, I'm figuring it out, and hopefully there'll be more live streams in the near future. But I had so much fun with Moxie. She's so hilarious, and she makes such good content. She does such a good job on her YouTube channel. You can really see the effort she puts in, and I appreciate that so much. So I'm glad I met Moxie. I'm glad we're friends now, and I'm hoping to have her back on. We'll hopefully do some more fun live live streams with food because she's a gal who loves food. I love food as well. We're both doing kind of similar things with indulgence. So, you know, her YouTube channel is around food and eating and mine's around drinking. So it's kind of a match made in heaven. So I can't stress it enough. If you're listening to this right now, go on over to YouTube and look up Moxey Munchies. I will leave links below so that you can do so. You can follow her on all social media as well. And that is Moxey Munchies on Instagram. Her Instagram is lit, by the way. It's amazing. And on Twitter, also at Moxey Munchies. And speaking of social media, you can follow the podcast as well on Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast. On Twitter at @in_toxicated. I hate that handle, but that's what we're working with. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have a lot of fun stuff up on there and hopefully more stuff to come. So that is on YouTube at Intoxicated. So look that up and subscribe to there as well. What I am going to do is take the mukbang video from Facebook and put it on our YouTube channel as well. So if you're not on Facebook, you can still check out the mukbang. And of course, if you are enjoying the podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or whatever app you use to subscribe to Intoxicated and not miss an episode. If you love the show, a rating or review on iTunes would be fantastic. You can also email the podcast at intoxicatedpodcast@gmail.com. Send us anything you want, feedback, even just like random advice questions. We can always use those in our episodes, whether that be main episodes or bonus episodes that we do for Patreon. So that's another place you should check out. That is patreon.com/intoxicated. We do various rewards for our Patreons on there, including early access and bonus episodes. And hopefully if we get more Patreons, we can do like some monthly hangouts, maybe like stream some hangouts with just the Patreons. That would be a lot of fun. So check out Patreon if you are enjoying the show. That's about it, guys. I'm going to cut to this awesome episode with Moxey Munchies. The rare time that I allow eating while recording. This episode might make you hungry. Sorry, not sorry. It's amazing. Hope you enjoy this episode with Moxey. Welcome back to the Intoxicated Podcast, everybody. I have a very special guest today. Another result of my Instagram stalking.
Yay!
That paid off big time. Moxey Munchies! Hello! I am ridiculously excited to have you on right now.
That's very exciting. This is my first podcast, by the way.
I'm popping your podcast cherry.
You are. You legit are.
I
Yeah.
feel very blessed and honored. It's a funny story, actually, because I don't know how I came across you. I want to say it was Twitter or something. I came across your channel and I looked at it and I was like, this is amazing. So I'm a chick on the internet who loves drinking. You're a chick on the internet that loves eating.
Loves eating.
So this is the perfect combo.
Yeah.
This is a match made in heaven a little bit.
And we're drinking and eating tonight, which is super exciting.
We're doing two things. We're going to get to know you a bit.
Yes,
and
sure.
then we're going to destroy our bodies.
Excellent. That's
the
pretty
best way-
much every day of my life, so that's great. I don't have diabetes, but I'll probably get diabetes.
Oh my gosh.
I eat a lot of sugar. Not that I know sugar doesn't cause it, but you know.
I have 1,000 questions just about that whole thing. But we are in fact drinking today. We are drinking vodka and bubbly sparkling, is it sparkling water?
Yeah, it's just sparkling water with flavor.
Yeah, it's delightful.
I've gotten pretty much off soda / pop, whatever you call it, but I am a huge LaCroix addict.
Yeah, LaCroix.
And LaCroix is insanely expensive here.
Yeah. I when you said LaCroix, I was like, that's awesome, because I feel like on the internet, it's everyone's like, LaCroix is so fancy, and it's for rich people.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she must be fancy. She likes LaCroix.
I mean, LaCroix actually started as like a ghetto cheap drink from the Midwest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And just the past few years, it's come up as like this really fancy drink for hipster millennials, I guess.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Are you a millennial?
What's a millennial?
Okay, so I think is it 81?
Then I'm a millennial.
I did this on the most recent episode. I checked the years. I think it's like 81 to...
I think so.
I'm 87.
Oh.
What? How?
I'm 83.
That's not much older.
You know, just comfortably in your 30s instead of approaching your 30s.
I'm 31.
And you know what?
I went over the hump.
Everyone panics. One, I didn't really panic. Two, I'm like the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Oh my God, where's the bell? Where'd my bell go, Aaron? Shit, it's right there.
Fact checker and go for it.
You need some sort of like whip to like whip it across.
I should say Erin's also here. Erin, say hi. Hello. Erin's going to be snapping some pictures of us. And she went on this grocery shopping adventure with me today, too. But no, happiest you've ever been in your 30s?
Get a dick.
Definitely. Like,
Because I totally agree. And I never thought I would be the person to say that. Like, I just always thought I'm just an unhappy person in general. I'm never going to be happy.
were you like really anxious in your 20s?
I mean, I'm still pretty anxious.
I spent probably the first 25 years of my life being like massively anxious. Didn't realize that everyone else wasn't like that.
Right.
And then once I came out of that, it was kind of like then I started to figure things out. And now that I'm in my 30s, like I don't have money, but I have enough money to I eat. I don't worry about a roof over my head. I don't have to job shop all the time. And it's crazy. Like, I have a psych degree, and that's the thing. Like, once your bases are taken care of, you can work on like being happy and doing things you like and
100%.
like hanging out with people you actually like and care for instead of just like whoever is actually around.
It's quality over quantity.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like you're less concerned about having a shit ton of friends, and you're more like, I just want to be really good friends with a certain amount of people.
Yeah, and
quality.
I don't stress about things, partly probably because I'm not anxious anymore, but it's not worth it.
No. Yeah. 100%.
It's not worth it, and 100%. This is not the life I thought I would have.
My God, imagine.
You know what I mean? Like when I was like 22 and I was finishing a DAL or whatever age I was, and I was just like, where you see your life path going, and this is like 300% not it, and I'm still like so happy.
Damn, ding ding. Okay, well,
so you have 3 years to get there.
I mean.
Keep up.
I still get anxious about stuff, but my fucks are gone. Like, more so.
That's
like,
good. Yeah.
Like, my energy is more important to me, and so I'm more mindful of where it goes.
Yeah.
I guess is kind of where I'm at. Where did you think your life was going? Did you think that it was like going to be more of a traditional?
Probably. Like when I finished a DAL early, not because I was genius, but because I hated it. And I came from a family, like my brother was doing his PhD, and I was just struggling to get through school. Partly now in retrospect, I see I was like so anxious and probably a little mental illness that it was hard for me to focus, and I hated what I was doing. So I finished early, and I was like, right, now start saving to buy a house, find someone to marry.
Yeah,
start
those traditional things. Check.
Yeah, check those off. And by now, I probably would have assumed that I'd have kids, I'd own a house, which I do own a house, but, I'd be married, all of that. And the vast majority of that is not true. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably happier than I would have been in that circumstance because partly you've had so many trials and tribulations, nothing like crazy, but, it's just different than you thought. And I know people too that are just like stuck on that path. Like, this is what I'm going to do. That's what I said I was going to do. And it's like, just take a deep breath.
Yeah, seriously.
That stuff can still happen if you want it, or maybe you'll find something that makes you even happier.
But don't base happiness around like, okay, I need to be a wife, so that's what I need to do to be happy. You know what I mean?
And
like,
by a certain age and all of this stuff.
Oh my gosh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I would be married with kids by 25.
Damn.
Right? I'm just like, now I'm like, I'm too broke to adopt. I don't know.
Right?
Like, it's just like I'm 31, but like, single. And it's like, I'm just like, well, if I want to adopt, like, like there's women who are like, okay, if I don't have a guy by 35 or 36, like, I'm just going to adopt. And I'm just like, I don't think I have that option. It's fucking pricey.
You can foster, and then sometimes the foster kids will need a permanent home.
That's true.
But there's alternatives to like you being the primary caregiver of your kids too, which is nice. Like friends, and if you have any siblings or anything like that. But yeah, it's just, you just got to roll with what you're given.
Got to roll with what you're given.
Yeah.
So how did you decide to start a YouTube channel?
So it's probably over 3 years ago now. It is actually, now that I think of, it's August.
I didn't realize, I went back and looked and I was like, holy shit, 2015 was your first video.
I privated a lot of them. And I just was in a circumstance where I, didn't have enough to do to fill the day. Mm-hmm. And at work, not at home. And it was something that I always liked doing. And also I would be going to the States a lot to visit family. And I just was watching a lot of YouTube at work. And I've always been the type of person that I have a very creative mind, but I've never really been good at like fine arts. So drawing, painting, all that. But I've always loved like crafting and thinking creatively and finding solutions to things. So for whatever reason, I got it in my head, I'm going to start a channel. I'm going to do it about like snacks and traveling and that. And I knew that I didn't necessarily have the means to travel as much as I would need to maintain like a very popular travel channel. So that's why I thought like snacks. And I was going to like Universal and Disney a lot because my family lived there. So that's why I started it.
I saw that. I was like, holy shit, you must have, like, it feels like, how often did you go?
Not that often. So the big secret with you, well, I mean, people do it on Instagram too, is that you go once and you film 6 videos worth of content, right? Plus, my family lives down there, so I probably go more often than people think.
Yeah, that's
in terms
true.
of like what's appropriate for vacation, but it was more visiting family. And then once you're there, what's the big deal for like $100 to buy a ticket, right?
Oh yeah, I'd go.
So I started that and I really struggled, but I really like doing it. And just over the years, I've gotten better at most parts of it. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, that first video is like my most popular video and it's like terrible
Don't
quality.
you hate that? I hate it when, because I've discovered new people who found about Intoxicated and they're like, sweet, I can't wait to go back and listen from the start. And I go, no, you should just start from like this year, maybe,
right?
like 2018, because the quality gets way better. And I had so much background noise in my first, oh my God, it was just so bad. Like quality wise, audio quality wise, terrible.
Yeah.
Didn't know what the heck I was doing. I get why people do that. People like to see a progression and they like to
want the
know
backstory.
They want the backstory. They want to know the whole story.
Yeah.
But it is kind of one of those things where you're like, just give it a chance because it might not have been the best back then, but it gets better, I swear.
Definitely.
But I totally get that. So did you start off with like a fancy camera or did you just start?
way.
Yeah, how did you start? Let's do YouTube origin.
I started with a camera that I got on clearance for $130 at Costco. Ooh. But unfortunately, I didn't use it to its, well, I did. It records 1080p, which is okay, medium quality now. That was like high quality then.
Right.
But in those first few videos, I didn't upload at the highest quality. So even though just stupidly like exporting settings and stuff like that. And then also it didn't have stabilization because it was just like a little point and shoot. So
yeah.
I had to stabilize it anyway. So I just used like the point and shoot I already owned because it shot good enough. And then probably only a year and a half into it did I buy a little bit better camera. Oh. But it is kind of like a cancer now that I have that camera. I'm like, there's these settings that I really miss that I want to upgrade again. But even the camera I have now is only a $500 camera.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Yeah. It is. It's such an investment.
It's so much money for everything.
I know.
And I mean, you have a similar hobby. It just sucks all my funds, and I buy a lot of candy and I pay a lot of money for a lot of candy to get it to Canada because a lot of it is American or Japanese.
Yeah.
So then I think like, do I want a new camera or do I want like 50 new flavors of Japanese Kit Kats?
You can go like the equipment route or like the content route in a way. And it sucks that you can't do both. But maybe you'll get to a point where you can do both.
And you just have to have that balance.
You just have to have that balance,
and a lot of my equipment is like hacks of hacks of hacks. So like you see I show up with these like cores and extension cords and grippy things and like
I love it.
It's not purpose use stuff, but you just make do because if you like doing it.
No, your lighting is bitchin'. I mean like
Amazon.
I think it's handy AF.
Yeah, it works well.
Moxie brought her lights because we are going to live stream a little bit of a mukbang in a second here. But yeah, I'm taking pointers from you because I want to start doing video and it's a whole other beast. Audio only is one thing, whole other beast when you get into video. Do you feel like you have to look amazing every time you do a video? That's my
I do. I never actually do look amazing.
Shut up! No!
But Like, I don't wear makeup in my normal life, and sometimes to shoot a video, it's like it takes all my energy to go in the bathroom and like put on some makeup.
Right.
Because that's not really me, but I know it really does, like when I'm editing, I see the difference of putting on a little bit of makeup.
That would be my main insecurity about doing video is like, how do I look?
Honestly, as someone who spent hours and hours and hours editing herself, you get over it.
You get over it. Yeah, exactly.
You stop worrying about it.
Yeah.
And the thing that happens to me the most is since I'm eating, I'll have stuff stuck in my teeth. But no one except me seems to notice. And to be fair, it's because I'm editing on like a huge screen and looking at myself for hours versus someone's watching a little 3-minute video on their phone. They're not going to see like the microscopic
And
dot
we are our
teeth.
own worst critics.
Definitely.
I mean, the stuff that you probably nitpick over during editing is not what other people are thinking about at all.
No, and I think part of it too is I have the opportunity that I'm kind of in this back channel chat with other YouTubers. So some of them are quite large and quite skilled. Like I'm quite confident they've gone to school for editing and stuff. So I see what they talk about. So then I'm learning from what they're doing, not necessarily applying that knowledge, but understand that people have the eye for that. And then I think, oh God, people are looking at my work with that eye. But it really isn't. I mean, it's mostly just casual 15-year-olds on their cell phone, I'm sure. It's
Exactly.
It's not, you
But
know.
it's good. But that's good because that shows that you have the ability to grow.
Hopefully.
And make it and keep making it better, right?
Hopefully.
And I gotta say, it's fantastic.
Thanks.
I watched, like, I put a bunch of your videos on today. Like, I just autoplayed them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really enjoy this. And I love your editing style, too.
That's awesome.
It's unreal. And you can see the effort that goes into it. You can see that you put a lot of effort into it, and it's good.
Hopefully, and that might be partly because you're struggling to try to figure it out now too, and you're like, "Oh shit, how did she do that?
How are you doing that? Teach me your ways." but your channel, so you do food and travel, right?
It's mostly food, and if people ask me what my channel is now, I usually say like food and comedy. My life motto is succeed, eat, laugh, repeat, and I kind of like go in that theme for my channel. So I like to work hard at things. I love to eat. I love to laugh, and I want to just keep doing that in my life. So it's mostly eating and laughing, and a lot of times I'm fortunate that if I do travel, and I love to travel, that I usually add that in there too.
You were like in the Amazon jungle? Where were you? That was one of the videos I watched today. I was like, where were you? And what?
Yeah, my friend Moxie and I went to the Amazon in November, and that was crazy.
Oh my God, it looked crazy.
It was like 40 degrees and 100% humidity all day, every day. And
nope. Erin's shaking her head very strongly.
There's just, we would stay at these jungle lodges. No one spoke English. I spoke a little bit of Spanish just from a past life. And it was just insanity all day, every day. Like, it was so awesome. I'm so glad we did it. But it was the first trip in my life that I would not tell everyone in my life to do it. Versus a lot of other, like Japan or, Machu Picchu. Like, I would be confident that anyone in my life could handle those circumstances. Versus this was like walking through the jungle with 100 mosquitoes around you in 40-degree heat in full pant because you can't get Zika or malaria, and then you're on malaria pills, and then you can't sleep at night because of the, it was crazy, but it was amazing.
I mean, like,
amazing.
It just would be a totally different world.
Totally different
than what
world.
we know here.
And one of the big things when I travel is I often think that, like, if I'm somewhere crazy and I look around, I'm like, right, this exists all the time. This doesn't exist for me being here. This is here all the time.
It's all the time. It's people's everyday lives.
And this is only like, I mean, it was a long haul for us because we got a super cheap flight. That's why we went. But it was only 9 to 12 hours of flying to get there if you went straight.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
So, the world is so small, but there's so much in the world that none of us ever really get to see too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
100% true. It's craziness. And you eat some crazy stuff.
I like to try everything.
The things that you've done on that channel. So the Blend My Life video was the one that inspired me to bring some snacks. So you took all of like nostalgic foods from your childhood and blended them and drank it.
Yeah, so if anyone watches YouTube, for years there's this semi-annoying but informative Draw My Life that people would do telling their life story.
Yeah.
And I just thought, how could I make this more like Moxie? And so I just put it all in a blender and ate it.
That's amazing.
Wasn't that bad.
Well, okay. Can you just hit a key on that MacBook? Sorry, Aaron, I keep telling you to do stuff. I just like, I like to see that it's still going. I like the reassurance. Sweet. We're good. What the fuck did that taste like?
Chocolatey, spicy, like rum. It was a lot of flavors in one sip. Honestly, I was expecting like insanely putrid, and it was totally manageable.
Okay. Oh my God.
Possibly looping back to the theme of my life. Totally manageable.
Totally manageable.
One sip at a time.
You got this. You got this. That's hilarious. What's the worst thing that you ate
Oh man, I don't
during
know.
the channel?
I've had bugs.
Oh my God.
They actually weren't that bad because they were all dried. I don't know, man.
Like, you must have a stomach of steel. So that was one of my main questions about like having a food channel, and like you're eating all this stuff and you're eating all these things. Like, do you have a good digestive system?
I do. I have been, people around me
TMI
have
question.
issues.
People around you.
I have amazing GI. Like, I went to the jungle.
Can't relate.
I went to the jungle, and literally it was the jungle, and you're just like, literally we fished for a piranha, then ate the piranha that night. And I only had the poops once in 5
What
days.
the heck? I feel like I would step off the plane and it would just be diarrhea city there.
Yeah, because it's not even like people are like, ooh, it's like, it's because your gut flora is different, right?
Right.
And I sound like a rich bitch. I'm not. This is actually the second time I've gone to the jungle. So
Okay.
I went to Peru for my 30th birthday and did Machu Picchu and blah, blah, blah. And you went to the jungle one night for that. So I had been to South America before, and maybe that helped a little bit because I was sicker then.
Mm-hmm.
And, I am just a type that I do watch what I drink. I drink bottled water when I go places, but generally anywhere I go, if something is cooked well and I see someone's cooked it well, I'll eat it. I don't stress about getting sick.
Right.
And I think over time that has just given me the opportunity that in different countries and different things, my gut flora is better.
It's
because
worked up.
it's kind of like a vaccination. Slowly you've worked yourself up to having a
I
diverse
thought that was the
flora.
case with me with Mexico, because I went to Mexico for the first, once, got very sick afterwards, and I knew exactly why. It's because we went off the resort and had dinner at a place, not on the resort, and we ordered Cokes with ice.
Yeah, and that was not bottled water.
And you never really thought about it, because it's so normal for us here to just fill a glass up with ice and drink it. And so, I just drank it, and then I got very sick, and thankfully, I got sick when I got back.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so it was just really bad. And then I went again, and I thought I did everything right. I really was really careful, and I still got sick. And I was just like, I just have a bad system.
And
it's just not good.
Part of it, though, I used to be a flight attendant.
Ooh.
And I used to do a lot of Caribbean runs. So we'd fly down to somewhere in the Caribbean and bring people back. And honestly, I think part of it too is you would be completely fine if you're just living your normal life, but you're going somewhere, you're drinking way more than you normally do, you're eating way more than you normally do, and it's just system overload. So then one little thing can just totally disrupt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just totally
You're not in your normal life.
You're not in your normal life, and there'd be so many people on the plane just it's almost like they were detoxing from just being drunk for 5 to 7 days straight.
Right.
And then just any little food, they'd almost be like alcoholics, sweating and shaking and stuff because they hadn't had a drink in 6 hours now, and they've just constantly been binge drinking and then having food they're not familiar with, and your system's just no way, I don't want any part of this.
No, thank you.
Because they're already knocked down to nothing, right? Because we all go and drink way more than we normally would if we go to a resort.
Oh,
That's
so
just
true.
the model of
And
going
you
to a
drink
resort.
all day. Like it's not like here where you go out drinking one like in the evening. Like when
Yeah.
you're down south, you have a mimosa with breakfast, and then you keep drinking throughout the afternoon. Like you're just constantly drinking.
We have this like thing in our head, just like buffets, that like we have to get our money's worth.
Yes,
As if we aren't already getting our money's worth, like flying a quarter of the way around the world, staying somewhere for a week, and flying back for $1,000, and we're still like, I have to have so many drinks. I have to have cake with my meal every meal because I'm not getting my money's worth.
Yep. No, 100%. I feel like overeating is such a thing. Like I have a very small stomach, but I will always order way too much food. We did it today. Yeah, we went out for some appetite because I was like, we're gonna be eating a lot of candy and shit, but like I should have a little bit of a meal beforehand, like around 4 or 5. And we ordered, we'll just have nachos and chicken wings, but it was like the hugest plate of nachos. And it was a lot.
It's hard to break too, because it's not like drinking where you're like, oh, I have a problem with liquor, I'll just never drink again. You can't not eat again.
It's so true.
And that's, I mean, in my discovery of being the person I want to be in my 30s, that's a realization that I've had, that I definitely have issues with food, which is kind of a fucked up thing because I have a food channel.
Well, I have issues with alcohol and I have a drinking podcast. But like when you say issues, you don't mean serious issues though,
I don't
right?
know. Like I can't stop eating, even when I overeat. Even if I'm grossly discomforted by how much food is already in my stomach, like I fixate on food, and it's the type of thing, like it's probably just like alcoholism. Like I can manage it in my head, but if I just let it go, like it's over. And one of the big things for me is if I exercise, I have an easier time controlling what I eat, strangely enough.
No, I get that.
So I think it's just like when I see how much work it takes to work that food off, I'm better at controlling what I eat. But I've definitely struggled with my weight my whole life. Like for me, food is happiness.
Food is such happiness.
Like that's just, there's no, like you celebrate by eating. You drown your sorrows by eating.
You treat yourself by eating.
You treat like a treat, like with my nephews, like to me, a treat is food for them.
Right.
Like, oh, I'll buy you an ice cream, or like I'll buy you a candy bar.
Right.
But I think that's partly cultural, but
that is big time.
Yeah.
And also stress eating and emotional eating. That's huge with me anyway.
You know what's funny is most of my eating is not that. But it's constant, so it happens in those situations. But very rarely I'm like, oh, I'm really stressed, I'm gonna go like binge eat a bag of chips. It's more just like if the chips are in my house, I fixate on them and eat them all the time. So if I don't have stuff in my house, I'm good. So that's kind of like the alcoholic without booze at our house.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Well,
right?
I mean, you have the self-awareness, and that's
half the battle.
That's
right?
half the battle. 100%.
And if I wanted to, I could go to therapy about it, but I think I'm good. Like
it's expensive.
It's expensive. I have health insurance.
Jealous.
Just shout out to everyone too. Check if your employer has an EAP, which is a way to get free counseling.
Employee assistance program.
You got it. A lot of employers.
Or you can come on my podcast and it's free therapy.
There you go.
But I am not qualified. Oh my gosh. Oh man. So are you someone who exercises a lot?
I run a lot.
I love running.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But I do it because I do feel better. I sleep better. I feel better about my body. I feel better about myself.
Yeah.
So I do it.
Right. That makes sense. I was going to say like having a channel based around like food and like not just food, but like ridiculous food.
Yeah.
Over the top food.
Over the top.
Weird foods. It's like you must always be, do you feel pressure to like always be on top of like the next bigger is better and more outrageous? You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of pressure, I would imagine. I
don't necessarily feel pressure, but I do definitely feel, so I used to post once a week and then I've had a bunch of life changes this year and that's gone out the window for a few months. So I would feel more panic and pressure that I had no content and just thinking up new ideas.
Yeah.
But I'm not really like epic mealtime or shit like that where it was like insane all the time. I kind of fluctuate. A lot of times it's more weird than crazy. So I don't necessarily feel pressure there.
Right.
But it is hard to, like, you do have a keeping up with the Joneses, like posting stuff and seeing what other people post and thinking it's not good enough. I could have a better idea than that. And then it escalates in terms of like how much videos cost me to film, because buying a lot of stuff costs a lot of money, or sourcing something, you know, I've paid $30 for one package of Oreos because I had to get it express shipped from the States and blah, blah, blah.
Because it was a special kind of Oreo. You want
special kind of Oreo, and, you know, you had to
yeah.
get it out right away and that sort of thing.
It's kind of like me with the drinking thing, though. Like, if people, and I was talking to a guy from Tinder last night.
Oh, baby.
I was telling him about the podcast, and he's like, I'm telling him about it, and I'm just like, yeah, it's usually drinking, and we drink, and he's like, so you're drunk every time? And I was just like, I mean, like, a lot of episodes go that way, but there's no way every single episode can be drunken. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm only one woman.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be drunk all the time, and there are sober episodes. Like, there are, well, I mean, I think I usually always had at least one, but, I was just like, I can't always be doing that. That's a lot on my body.
It's
Especially if you record more than one episode in a weekend.
Yeah, and I do have the luxury that if I try something, usually it's not, like, I did that Reese episode where I ate Reese all day, and that was brutal.
Oh my gosh.
But it's, what you see me eat on camera is all I eat. The rest I give to a friend, I bring it to work. Sometimes I put it in the compost because there's just no way that I can have it in the house without eating it. And it's not as bad because you don't typically get a hangover from food. You know what I mean?
I would get crampy, probably.
I don't, like, volume-wise, though, I don't eat that much. So
okay, fair.
If you had a gut like mine that, like, I'm probably only eating 500 to 1,500 calories, which, you know, if I go out to a restaurant, eat a big restaurant meal, it's that much calories, too.
And that's the thing with things like mukbangs, because it might be a lot of variety of food, but you're trying everything, but you're not necessarily, like, eating all
Unless you're
of
Trisha
it.
Paytas. Do you watch her?
Yes.
That woman must have the stomach, like a gallon-sized stomach, because I wonder how many people are watching her like me that I'm just sitting there jaw dropped, like, she's still eating. How is there that much room for food in her body? Because she's not a big person in terms of, like, tall stature.
No.
And I just think that takes years of training to get your stomach to have that much food.
I'm not one to eat big meals. I eat consistently throughout the day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a snacker.
Yeah.
But, like, when it comes to a big meal, I don't eat a lot. But I eat, like, every hour.
Yeah.
It feels like every hour or two I have a snack.
I used to eat huge meals, not on purpose, but then, like, having healthy eating bouts and counting calories and that, my stomach has definitely shrunk, which is a good thing.
Right.
Like, if I film a video, I just won't eat supper. I won't eat a meal.
I was going to ask,
because
is there balance there?
There wouldn't be room, right? Depending on what I'm, like, Blood in My Life, I filmed that at like 11 a.m.
Right.
And I just didn't have anything to eat that. I mean, I got up and had a banana or something. I'm not starving myself, but it's like, all right, I can't have a meal. It's a conscious thought because I need the room in my stomach.
You need the room.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, that's good, though. That's good that you have that awareness.
It's something I've definitely, like, learned over time. I didn't start doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, one night, my friend and I, one of my very first videos is we tried a whole bunch of Japanese Kit Kats, and we tried over 30.
Was that the drag one? Oh, no.
This was years ago.
Oh, okay.
But we definitely learned from that. Like, by 20, we were like, we can't taste any difference. We can't eat anymore. And it wasn't like bite, throw it in the spit bucket. It was like, it was the fun size ones. It was, you know, you split it in two and eat it. So it was the equivalent of each of us having like 15 fun size Kit Kats. And we still had more to eat. So you learn from your mistakes and just accept, like, as much as I want to eat that Kit Kat, put it in the spit bucket.
Put it in the... Oh, do you have a spit bucket?
I usually have a bowl, depending on what we're eating. It's mostly more just like the throw bucket, no one's spitting out. But usually I just, like, make a point of not eating the whole thing.
Have you ever vomited from one of your videos?
No.
What?
No. I mean, most of the stuff I do isn't that crazy. And,
no, it's really not that bad.
And I'm definitely a sugar addict, so, like, I have a stomach for a lot of sugar too. So I can deal with it.
Yeah, we'll see how I'm going to do tonight. I don't know.
I think you're really optimistic considering I brought like 30 candy bars. Too.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. Okay, so we're going to do a lightning round of questions.
I feel like I'm on a game. Oh, my God. You have a donut pop socket?
I do. Do you?
Right now, I have French fries.
Okay, that's
but
amazing.
I am like the pop socket prophet.
I love pop sockets.
I order them in like 20s and hand them out to people. I order the pink sprinkle ones.
That's so nice.
Because I just love pop sockets so much.
I don't know how people live their lives.
And it saved my wrist. I started using it because my wrist hurt so much. And now it doesn't. Anyway, that's the one I normally have. But
I think I got this at Giant Tiger for $5.
yeah, I order them for $1 off eBay, so I just order like 20 at a time. They're like $20 in Best Buy.
They're not cheap. They're
It's
not
a sham.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you a couple. Okay, so these are food questions, but they're like your favorite foods for various situations.
Oh,
okay. So you don't have to answer right away. I can edit it to make it sound like it was really quick. Favorite first date food?
I have not had a first date in 10 years, so this is tough.
Me.
But I'm
6,
single now, so I need to think about this. Favorite.
Or if you were to go on a date with food involved.
I guess this is like a strategic one because it's like, have you been interacting with this is getting way too theoretical. If you've been interacting with the people, then you're like, I just need to lay it all out there. This is who I am. Or is it like a blind date and you kind of have to like ease them into your crazy?
I think it's like a Tinder date. Like you've met and you've been chatting for a bit. And then you go on a date.
I would say you go somewhere and you get like 4 or 5 different little appetizers or something.
Like nachos.
Nachos, like tapas, but not as snobby as tapas.
No.
Little nacho, little wing, little whatever, fries.
I would not do chicken wings on a first date. Well, first of all, I wouldn't do food at all on a first date.
Really?
Fuck no.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't want to risk the poops.
Oh, yeah. See, iron gut.
So jealous. I want your stomach. Favorite comfort food? So when you're sad or feeling down.
My vice is definitely sweets, but not candy. Like I would say my favorite like comfort food would probably be having a brownie with vanilla ice cream.
So good.
But to be honest, like even though that's my favorite thing, I would probably go more to like a pizza. Like if I had a really rough day at work, even though sweets are like, I'm totally sweet over salty, my first instinct would probably be like, I'm going to order a pizza.
Yeah, pizzas are like my everyday.
Because then you don't have to cook supper. And then, I mean, you can get vegetables on it.
You can make them healthy.
Yeah.
You can make pizzas healthy.
But then you ruin them, so.
Yeah, that's true. Favorite sexy time food? And again, I would never mix.
I was going to say, I'm going to need some more qualifications.
I think this is when you have the guy over and you know that it's going there and like, I picture this as like chocolate covered strawberries or something.
Is this like when you're...
I mean, Aaron's dying.
Are you like pre-gaming sex? Is this during sex? Is this like an hour before knowing you're going to have sex?
This is all of the above.
I mean, I wouldn't want something... I wouldn't want something messy. My instinct is ice cream. Like you just like...
That's the messiest.
Well, you just like slam the pint between you and you have 2 spoons.
That's adorable though. That's actually my goals. I'm like kind of lactose intolerant, but like...
Well, you can get the coconut ice cream. It's actually pretty good at the PC one.
Yeah, I need to try that. I've heard really good things.
Yeah.
I'm still saying chocolate covered strawberries or strawberries in general.
Strawberries, I love strawberries. They're not sexy to me.
I don't know what it is.
First of all,
maybe it's the media that's getting in my head.
Let's also just, this is totally deviating from my family-friendly content on YouTube, but this
you're on the right show.
Exactly. Let's just have a PSA. Nothing sugary should go in your vagina because that's how you get an infection. Let's just like lay that out there for people. Don't put whipped cream up there. Don't put strawberries up there. Don't put ice cream up there.
You can put yogurt up there though.
Without sugar in it. It should be sugar-free.
Like a Greek.
No one wants to lick plain yogurt out of a vagina.
I meant for yeast infections, not for liver.
Okay.
apparently for yeast, if you have a yeast infection, you can put yogurt down there.
I've also heard you can just shove a whole clove of garlic up
I've
there.
heard that too. What the fuck is that?
I would be more comfortable with the clove of garlic. Personally.
I think so too.
Less messy. I've also
yes.
I've also heard you just thread a piece of unflavored dental floss through that, and then you don't have to go fishing around to get it out later.
But the dental floss.
Hi, my name's Moxie. I'm single. If you'd like to date me, add me to Instagram.
But the dental floss, that doesn't seem thick enough for me to find it.
No. You like put in, you thread. You're getting it all wrong. You thread a needle with the dental floss, and then you put that through the clove, anchoring it in the clove. Then you shove the clove, as she motions to her own vagina. Then you shove the clove up your vagina.
But the needle doesn't stay in there, right?
No, my God. you just thread the dental floss through the clove.
Okay.
Don't put a needle in your vagina.
No.
Picture this. Garlic tampon.
Yeah.
Okay.
You make a tampon out of garlic.
Say that into the mic. Say garlic tampon.
Garlic tampon.
Now you have a little bit of an idea there you could patent.
Ooh.
Tampons inoculated with garlic.
Are we starting a business now?
You can have that one.
I need a partner with it, though. I can't do that alone. Oh, man.
Maybe Aaron will do that for
This
you.
went places.
Anyway,
went places.
back to your list of questions about food.
Okay, favorite dessert?
Brownie bottom sundae, like browning that, but I'm big on desserts in terms of like pastries, like cookies and cakes and all of that jazz. That's my jam for sure.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
No, that's a good choice. I like creme brulee.
Dead to me. I've never had a creme brulee that met my expectations.
Really?
Yes, including places in this town that I will not name that apparently had, quote, the best creme brulee.
Where
the
keg has really good creme brulee.
I just think I don't get it. Like, it's not, I don't get it. I'm not big into like puddings either. Like, someone's like, oh, I could wreck a pudding. I don't care.
Good wreck a pudding.
You know what
I
I
like
mean?
a chocolate mousse. Okay, the appeal to stuff like that for me is the fact that it's a lighter dessert. I like light desserts. I'm not a cheesecake girl, and people fucking boo me when I say that. I'm just not a cheesecake girl.
I can see that. I can see why, because it's very different.
It's heavy, and again, bad stomach, right? So if I'm eating a big meal, and if I'm doing cheesecake, that's not going to be a good time for me.
So you haven't tried the Donaire Cheesecake at Sweet Hereafter?
I have not.
There was literally chunks of Donaire meat in it.
I mean, that sounds disgustingly
and
amazing.
raw onions. And did I eat it? Yes.
Was it good?
You know what? It wasn't bad. The only downside was the raw onions on top. The rest, I could in a pinch, I could totally eat. Like there's a scale of enjoyment, right? This would be of the level of like you're at someone's house and they put it in front of you and you don't want to insult them. I could totally finish that.
Okay.
It was part of the Donaire crawl. There's a Donaire crawl once a year.
Okay.
It's for charity.
Let's for a second talk about Donaires. I love Donaires, but I can only eat them once in the safety of my own home, and then I don't eat them for another 2 months. Like, they destroy me. They're delicious. Do not get me wrong. But I eat one of those, and it's just like... It's almost immediate indigestion for me.
I think we need to have a conversation later about a couple like IBS diets that you can try.
Yes, please.
There's one called FODMAP. We'll get deep into it, but we'll do that after because it's boring.
Because Tinder boys listening to this don't need to know about my IBS. That's a quote I never thought I'd say. Favorite childhood food that is no longer available?
Oh. Good question.
I know one of mine is.
There's definitely been some, and I discovered a few when I was doing my Blend My Life video. I will say that most of them, when I've tracked them down, have not been as good as you remember.
That's always really sad.
One thing that I've had in-depth discussions about is McDonald's Pizza.
That's what I was thinking of! McDonald's Pizza!
And it still exists 2 places. And a friend works for an airline, and we had serious discussions about flying to these places in the States, which we would never go to normally, and getting it for video. But there's actually a bunch of Canadian guys who did that video already. So I could no longer justify spending money I didn't have to fly to somewhere and eat pizza I'm not probably going to like.
I have to say the idea of flying somewhere for McDonald's pizza is hilariously amazing. Like going on a trip just to do that, that's amazing.
It's got good content potential, but when you balance the like cost of doing that.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fucking
It was
fair.
on the Eastern Seaboard. I would just drive down, but it was like Illinois, so you had to fly.
Oh, wait, I know another one. The Juice Beep.
So
do you guys remember Beep? They did have. It's not really
okay. So you can. I have a friend. Shout out to the Sultan of Sweets on Instagram. They got rid of Beep again, and he had some frozen in his freezer. And then when his children were born, he drank the last 2 jugs of Beep in existence. And then one was just born in June, so he's had his last Beep.
Oh my god!
You guys can follow him on Instagram. He's the Sultan of Sweets, and he reviews drinks.
I love how we're both getting our
Both people are like racing to their Instagrams.
Oh my gosh, the Sultan.
SULTAN of sweets, but he does drink reviews.
Okay, hilarious. Okay, I found him. I'm following.
He's local as well in Halifax. by the way.
Amazing.
And we've actually, that was my biggest success of like finding friends on the internet.
Yeah.
He and his wife, who owns Pip and Daisy, which is an awesome clothing company for kids. We have now become IRL friends after like meeting on YouTube and
internet.
Instagram.
Isn't that's the best?
Right?
That's and I think we're going to be friends now.
Yeah.
We're going to be friends.
It's a big year for that. I've been talking to them for like a year, and then finally we went to their house in January. My friend and I joked we were like driving to be murdered somewhere, but it was fine. And then in June, I actually flew over to England to meet another YouTuber and like help them build a tiny house, which was amazing.
Oh my God.
So that was really awesome. I'll send you the links later.
Please send them to me.
So I'm totally like on board with meeting strangers from the internet now.
Doing the similar things.
Like,
we're all crazy people.
And I mean, don't give the Prince of Nigeria your money, but there's steps you can take to like meet and become friends with people that share interests with you.
Oh,
for sure.
100%. And don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
Did I reach out to you about coming on?
I think you had posted in one of your stories, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do," and you were like, "Oh my God, yes!" And I'm used to being ignored, so I was like,
remember
"Great."
now. Here's what happened. I think I found you on Twitter, and I meant to tweet at you with the @sign, being like, "I love your channel." And then I forgot to mention you in it, so my tweet was just, "I love your channel." And then a bunch of other people were like, "What the fuck, Sarah?
What is
and
a
I was
channel?"
just like, I just fucked up. And then I kept following you on Instagram about it. I was like, hopefully we'll meet up at some point and get together.
Yeah, I don't use Twitter much, but I'm on Insta heavy.
Twitter's tough. Okay, what's your most hated food?
Ooh. I don't like seafood. I don't know if that's necessarily my most hated food. For years, I'm going to say it's beans. I have texture issues.
Yeah, the texture with beans is tough. It's a tough one.
And I could get a bean down, but I would never choose to eat a bean. I have successfully integrated chickpeas into my life.
Ooh, I love chickpeas. That's kind of like a bean?
It is a bean. Yeah, it's a garbanzo bean.
I knew that.
But I just like, I think my instinct is someone's like, okay, I'm cooking for you. What you like? I would say beans. Like,
okay, I got you.
I can't.
You can do it. It's not your choice. Like,
if there's a pot of chili in my family, like I will stand and get chili without beans through a very patient like skimming
that's
process.
how you know you don't like something, if you're doing that kind of effort.
Yeah,
for sure. What about your favorite plane food? So by that I mean like the snacks you take on a plane, like if you're going on a long flight. What do you take on the plane?
So I have this is a question that goes right to my heart because I have a lot of theories about this. So usually what I do is I'll make a cold So I'll make a cold pasta salad with bell peppers.
Oh my God! I'm like, Pringles? Okay, go on.
With bell peppers, feta, a little bit of garlic, a little olive oil, toss that, and then it's delicious cold with some herbs and stuff.
That sounds delicious.
And then I do love to eat something that takes up time on a plane. So like a big bag of M&Ms and you eat one at a time. When I was a flight attendant, people would buy the bits and bites and then separate the bits and bites and then make cars and
that speaks to my
shapes.
soul.
But I
That's
don't really
amazing.
like bits and bites.
I love bits and bites.
It's not
Should
my
have gotten
jam.
those today. Shit.
But so I like things that take up a lot of time, or like a big bag of Jolly Ranchers you can suck on or something like that. So I definitely go sweets, chocolate, that sort of thing. And my go-to if I'm traveling is probably like you order a big pizza, have the pizza for supper, and then the next day, if you have like multiple flights or many, hours of traveling, cold pizza. Cold pizza is awesome on an
Cold
airplane.
pizza. I never thought of that. I just never thought to like bring food from home to it. Like I always just buy stuff at the airport.
I'm just such a frugal traveler. Like when we went to Colombia, it was under $2,000 to go to the Amazon, everything included.
What?
Yeah, and we were there like 12 days.
We gotta talk.
I know,
I need
right?
some tips because like I'm the worst at that shit. I just drop money like it's nothing. What about purse food for purse snacks?
My purse is literally a donut in itself.
Do you have the donut purse right now?
No.
Oh,
I'll
sadness.
show you a picture.
I saw it in one of your videos.
I don't really carry a lot of snacks, to
Really?
be honest.
What did I use? I usually have granola bars in there because I have hypoglycemic attacks every now and then. It's really scary. Okay, like I'll be on the bus. There was one day that I was like, it was very warm, and I hadn't eaten for about 4 hours, which in my world is like 8. It feels like 8. I got and I didn't feel hungry, but then I got on the bus and I started like, do you know that feeling you get right before you're gonna be sick? Like you start to like. Your vision kind of goes, you feel dizzy and lightheaded, and like you just get that sinking feeling in your stomach.
Sounds like you're gonna faint.
Yeah. And I texted my friends going, I'm about to faint on the bus. Shit. And I didn't. I was just like, breathe, Sarah, breathe. And like breathing through the pain. And then ended up getting off at the mall and I downed a chicken shawarma plate very quickly. But ever since then, I carry granola bars in my purse.
Have you heard of sport beans?
Sport beans?
They're made by Jelly Belly, and you think they should be doing nothing with health. But they have a product called Sport Beans, and they're like really carb-rich jelly beans meant for when you're running. But they'd be good to keep in your purse because they're just like pure sugar, so if you're about to faint.
I also like a fruit to go every now and then.
Oh yeah, that's pretty healthy too.
Those
I
are-
mean, in the scheme of
things.
in healthy eating, it's not healthy, but in terms of like
Yeah.
junk food,
Yeah.
that might have been a little bit too judgy. I can fuck with a fruit to go.
Nuts are also good to have in your purse.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Best drunk food.
Pizza faux show.
Pizza or I think poutine too. But also
You're really committing to a mess eating
Yeah.
pizza, eating poutine drunk.
well, I think a donaire is the messiest thing you can ever
I would
eat.
never. I don't think I'd eat a drunk donaire. I don't think I'd have the skill level
It's
to like keep it assembled and then in my mouth and
you
then
know-
the drip and the
know what I
raw
thought of,
onion
though?
burps.
I've always been drunk when I've had Monster sticks, so I feel like Monster sticks are a good drunk food as well.
Nachos too.
Nachos are okay. I'll eat them sober though, all the time. So I feel like drunk
Oh,
food
you mean
is,
like things you'd only eat when you're
yeah,
drunk?
Yeah.
Donaire egg rolls.
Oh, so good. Yes. I'm going to ding the bell for that.
I wouldn't.
They are so
They
good.
taste like regret.
But they're so good.
Hot dogs. I don't eat a lot of hot dogs, but I could fuck with a hot dog drunk.
Ooh. Okay, and then going back to the drunk thing, best hangover food. It's a different thing.
I go for classic breakfast: fried eggs, runny eggs,
Yes,
Benedict.
yes.
And when I go for breakfast, there needs to be like some sort of egg, some sort of toast, and some sort of potato. Pancakes is not a hangover breakfast.
No, thank you. Yeah, another ding. The potato part is very important,
Yes.
and the bacon part is very important.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from eating meat like at every meal, but definitely
Right.
some sort of meat item.
Some sort of salty
in my drinking
deliciousness.
days always had to play into that. I'd
Right.
like a round sausage patty too, which is like
Ooh,
the
yum.
ghetto. I keep saying ghetto, I shouldn't say ghetto. The rough meat, but I love it.
So good. Is there something that you could eat every day and not get sick of?
A lot of things. Chocolate, cookies, pizza.
Every day?
Yeah.
Really?
Spaghetti, fish chowder.
Fish chowder every day.
I love fish chowder. I'm the type of person that will make, like, because I'm single, I'll make something really good to eat and like nutritious and everything, but I'll make enough to eat for like a week straight.
I will try to do that and then eat it and then throw it all out.
And then sometimes I like it so much, like I will even eat it for breakfast.
Oh, really? See, that's really smart. And I don't
It
do that
works,
at all.
but then also like it's a little bit insane.
I don't think it's insane. I think it's efficient.
It's efficient.
It's
yeah.
very efficient. It's meal planning.
And like getting back to like podcasting and doing videos and that, like some nights I'm so excited to just like race home and edit something
Yes!
that I don't want to take the hour because that hour will take away from me editing and me doing the, and then I'm still getting something delicious to eat, or I volunteer a lot. So
do you have an edit? Oh, that's another one. An editing snack. Do you have a snack that you always eat? I know what mine is. It's cheese and it's Triscuits with that Broyers cheese. That like
boursin.
Oh,
That's what you're trying to say, isn't
yeah,
it?
it totally is.
Boursin.
Say it again.
Boursin.
Ooh,
It's French.
Yeah. That cheese, I'm not going to repeat it because I won't be able to say it as good as you. But they have a chive and shallot kind, and I eat that with Triscuits when I edit. It's
don't
fucking amazing.
Eat when I edit it.
That's totally fair.
I'm just so deep in the like I'm. When you were a kid, maybe this is like a Moxie thing, but when you were a kid, when you read a book, like did you like reading as a kid?
Nope.
Oh. When you were playing video games as a kid, did you like get in a hole and like almost submerge, like reconscious?
Yeah, of course.
When I edit now, that happens.
Oh
to me.
yeah,
So I will look up and 2 hours have passed. And
I
it could
know,
have been 2
right?
minutes.
Oh my god.
So I'm just not thinking about food, which is awesome for me because I eat so much all the
I
time
think
anyway.
because you have video.
Yes,
That
there's
makes
something
sense.
to look at.
Like, whereas me, like, I can just listen to a track and, like, I can kind of do other stuff.
Yeah.
But I do need to be listening, but I don't necessarily have to be watching.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's probably why it's a little bit different.
But you like Triscuits. Fuck
I love
Triscuits. They're like the
Triscuits.
worst cracker.
What? What's the best cracker?
Not that. Like, I'd take a Rivita over a Triscuit. What are you doing?
I never used to like Triscuits, but I eat it with this particular cheese, and I really enjoy it.
What about a nice wheat thin? And then, like, the
They're too
cheese is the
thin.
star.
They're too thin.
You could just, like, even scrape it in the boursin, just almost like a chip and dip.
They're too thin. Oh yeah. I think you mentioned this on. Oh, maybe you didn't. Do you know what your last meal in prison would be?
Damn.
Let's say you committed a crime. I don't want to know what crime it was.
I'm going to assume that I've had access to pizza at some time, and then thus I would choose like a nice homemade thick fish chowder.
Ah.
Don't like seafood, love fish chowder.
I do like some fish chowder too.
yeah.
Yeah,
And fish
it's quite
chowder, not
delicious.
seafood chowder.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's very, very true. Last meal in prison. Are you a good cook?
I'm a better baker.
That's what I thought. Didn't I say that? I was like, just based on her videos, I feel like she's more of a baker, but
I definitely like can cook and survive, and like a friend's newer spouse turns out eats a lot of like ready-made food. Like I make everything I make essentially from scratch. So it depends on what you consider to be a good cook, I guess.
So you make real food.
Yes.
I have a woman who I know, who's a friend of mine now, who essentially is like mentoring me in the ways of cooking a little bit. And she like took me into her kitchen. She's like, okay, I'm going to open up my cupboards in my fridge and I'm going to show you what I have in here. And you need to tell me what you think you could make out of what I have.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I was like, there was no packaging, no boxes. It was all real food. Like, and I was just like, does not compute. Like, if you look at like, you'll be disgusted. It's a 12-year-old's fridge. It's absolutely insane.
So
what I
based
eat.
on that, I'm an excellent cook.
Okay.
Like when first I go to Dave's, which is like the cheap produce place by me. I've gotten to the point, I'm very fortunate because it's taken work, but also have access and money and blah, blah, blah. My instinct is to go buy produce and protein and then supplement maybe with a frozen pizza for the night. I don't feel like my instinct is to go and get those things. And then I usually can survive making things from Whole Foods that I have in my fridge.
I need to learn. I really, really fucking do.
You just pick one recipe that you really like, and then you figure it out, and then every month you pick one more, and then you have like 30 recipes in your head.
Damn, okay.
One a month.
Life journey I need to go on. Is there any one thing that you will never, ever, ever, ever try?
I'm gonna say no.
Ooh.
I would hesitate the poisonous fish in Japan that you have to have someone cut it very carefully, or you get the poison sac of it. I would hesitate trying that.
So specific.
Well, I can't think of anything I wouldn't try. Like
you've tried bugs and stuff.
Bugs and piranha.
Crickets?
Yes, at some point I had the Mexican restaurant, well, I won't name for reasons. They have crickets on their guac if you ask for it.
Holy shit.
So I've had crickets
What
there.
do crickets taste like?
Crunchy.
Just
They don't really have a flavor.
okay, interesting.
I think we all need to get used to bugs because we're going to be eating more of them when the post-apocalypse.
We got dark. I love it. Okay, this is a very important question, and this is very important to me as to whether or not we can continue being friends. What time frame is brunch?
I don't eat a lot of brunch because I don't have like 3 hours to dedicate to a meal. However, if someone will ask me if I want to go out to brunch, I'm going to cop out and then I'll give you a number just to make you happy. I'm going to say brunch is any time before I've eaten. So if I wake up
Such a cop.
and I haven't had lunch yet, sure, let's do brunch. I'm never going to police brunch, but I'm going to say 2.
Okay, what's the earliest?
Well, I think it would depend when you get up, because I get up at like 5 a.m. So brunch is fucking 9 a.m. But if I get up a normal person at like 9 o'clock, then we'll say 10.
No! We can still be friends. That's breakfast.
Yeah, but what if I've already had breakfast at 5 a.m.?
Okay, you make a fair point. She makes a fair point. I still feel like
Because when you don't drink, you
if
get up
you're-
early like
That's true.
like an old lady.
People who know me know that when they make brunch plans with me, it's usually 12:30 or 1. But that's because I sleep in. But I think brunch is 11 to 3.
That's a small window.
11 to 3.
Because it takes like 2 hours.
Why does it take 2 hours?
By the time you get there and you wait for a table and you sit down and
I mean, that's true. It is such an ordeal. It's a big ordeal.
Yeah.
There's a lot to go through
So
there.
what quantifies brunch for you? Does everyone get, like, can you get lunch food at brunch?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's brunch.
But
You
also,
can do one or the other.
So you would be mad if I got like a BLT at 9 a.m.
I would think that was weird.
Oh, that's not up for debate. That's obviously weird. It's obviously weird.
But you make a very good point about the getting up thing. Because, yeah, if you had breakfast at 5 a.m. and then it's 10, that's your brunch time.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you a pass on that one. I just don't like people who... Okay, so I'll give you context with this. People who are like, let's do brunch, okay? And then they say 8 or 9 a.m. And I'm like, that's not brunch hour. That's breakfast to the majority of people. Most people don't get up at 5 a.m., I feel like.
It's probably more they're reaching out to you with like the philosophical idea of brunch.
brunch.
Like, let's sit and have a pleasureful weekend meal together.
That's
rather
true.
than like the literal brunch.
Which I'm so specific about.
I think you're just feeling burned because you're like, bitch, I'm not up that early.
I know!
What do you think this is? Prison? Like, I don't get up this early. What are you doing? Yeah.
100%. So one last like controversial question, and then I'm gonna go into a lightning round where you do have to answer really quick. Okay. Meat under or over cheese on pizza?
Oh, over. Final answer.
Okay.
You're not.
Have you had the wheel from Anna Ganesh?
No, but I've had a lot of Cape Brent. No, this is not up for debate. Meat needs to crisp. This soft.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Soft, limp meat under cheese.
I totally agree.
Fuck that.
Only with the wheel, which is my hometown pizza, which they put it under the cheese, and it's friggin' delicious. But for the most part, I do agree over the cheese.
I would argue that's more of a comfort familiarity thing rather than an objective truth.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, for the most part, people prefer crispy pepperoni over slimy.
Limp. Just use limp. That
pepperoni.
evokes everything you need it to do.
What about pineapple on pizza? What do you feel about that?
I'll fuck with a pineapple on
Hell
pizza.
Yeah!
I don't have to do it all the time, but it doesn't bother me.
Oh, it doesn't bother me at all. I fucking love it, actually. I like pineapple on nachos, too. People think that's really weird.
It's just a salty sweet thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I wish more places here, though, would use fresh, this is so snobby, fresh pineapple and caramelize it a little bit on the grill rather than the canned shit.
Yeah,
Because,
that's
again, back to
true.
eating mostly whole foods, I don't eat canned pineapple. So then when I have it on a pizza, I'm like, oh, right. This is how the poor people live.
Caramelized pineapple. Grilled pineapple is even better.
Yeah.
Okay, lightning round. Ready?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you two foods. You got to pick which one.
Okay.
Pizza or poutine?
Pizza.
Tacos or burritos?
Burritos.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Chips or popcorn?
Chips.
M&M's or Smarties?
M&M's.
Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger.
Nachos or potato skins?
Nachos.
No, right? Who would never pick potatoes? Coffee or tea?
Coffee, but I only drink decaf now.
Okay. Milk or dark chocolate?
Milk chocolate till death.
Thank you. I totally agree. Erin's a dark chocolate gal over there. Yeah. Ice cream or frozen yogurt?
Ice cream.
Yeah. Me writing that, I was like, no one's going to say frozen yogurt. No one.
Should have said ice cream or popsicles.
Ooh, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah, still ice cream.
Final answer.
Ribs or steak? Ooh.
Both. Probably steak. Probably steak.
Yeah, steak is delicious. Mashed potatoes or stuffing?
Mashed.
Oh, wow. I didn't even say the second word.
Yeah, there's that mashed
Stuffing.
potatoes is like one of my favorite foods. Yeah.
Like in a turkey dinner, you like is that one of your favorite parts of a turkey dinner? Is the mashed
Definitely.
potato? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the stuffing. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
100%. Fries with ketchup or mayo?
You mix the two together.
Ooh, shit. And last but not least, even though I'm sure I could keep going, muffins or bagels?
Muffins.
And did I say bagel right? There's a debate.
Bagel, you said.
There's a debate about how I say that word. Bagel.
I think you kind of said like bagel.
Bagel.
Instead of bagel.
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 Do you go bagel or muffins?
Muffins for sure.
Really? Not the bagels?
It just plays back into like I like pastries like cookies and cakes and stuff, so it's more into that realm.
Right.
But most of the times I'd probably choose a bagel over that for like you'd get a whole wheat bagel and it's healthy and blah blah blah.
Right. Damn. Well, that was fun. High five. Now, shall we get into the mukbang portion?
Sounds good.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Even though we are in the past on the live stream, on our end we are very delayed. And I'm watching myself like 5 minutes ago.
You haven't sat down yet.
I haven't sat down yet.
I'm going to blame the government because surely has something to do with our socialist Canadian nation. I don't know what.
We are here for a mukbang.
Yay!
Yay! We're going to smile. So we are going to be doing, well, it's kind of a two-part thing, okay? So you did the Blend My Life video where you went back and talked about nostalgic snacks. And then that inspired me. And I was like, I want to go get all of my nostalgic snacks. And they are very nostalgic to me. So I went to Sobeys with Erin and picked out what would be in my Blend My Life.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of what you had.
You have a lot of sugar.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like 90% sugar.
It explains a lot about me. That I was raised with all of this. So should I go through what I picked? Like, how should we approach this mukbang? Do we talk about one thing and eat it? I think that's how it's usually done, right?
I think, you should grab something you want to eat and then we'll try it and discuss it.
Okay. First one is caramel.
I was never really allowed these as a child. The only time we had them was did you have like the Vachon outlet where you were and you get like the giant mix box of like seconds and we would have them then? I was never the child who like had a Vachon cake every day in my lunchbox.
All that. I think we just got these from the normal grocery store.
Yeah, no, we would never get packs of these. I like, we had junk, like I had granola bars and cookies and stuff, but this just was never allowed, I guess. But I've definitely had one. The cake in them I find strange.
It is a little weird. It's kind of like a sponge. Okay, let's try it. So, I'm gonna have fun with the promo image for this because it's just gonna be all this food. They're still delicious though.
They're still delicious. They're still just pure sugar. Mm-hmm. It freaks me out that the cake stays fresh.
It's a little weird.
Like, what is in this that it's...
These were one of my, like, of all of the, I don't know. Yeah, how do you say that? Pecan?
Vash.
Oh my god. I'm going home!
Where are you?
The melting.
You didn't know it was Vachon?
I don't know how to pronounce shit.
Pecan. I'm gonna use that now like jalapeno. Pecan cakes. I need to get a pecan cake.
Yes, I have done that before, by the way. I have said jalapeno. Oh, man. Listen, I had a speech impediment as a kid, and that's my excuse. But that's no excuse about bad reading, really. Pecan. Of all of them, I think that the caramels were my favorite. But I love a Joe Louis, too. Those are good.
Now, I do know people that used to pronounce Joe Louis Joss Lewis. And that's clearly completely incorrect.
That's bizarre. So that's the caramel. Should we just finish her off? Eat this whole thing?
We have a long...
No. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
We have a long...
I know.
Row to hoe. Plus, we're semi-drinking, which... I mean, it's not... It's quite the combination.
I'm living my best life right now. Okay, next one is the flaky. Okay.
What flavor of flaky did you get?
The 3-fruit passion flaky.
I don't think I've ever had a 3-fruit flaky. Did you choose that flavor on purpose?
I mean, I just think that this is the classic flavor that I grew up with. I don't actually really remember. I don't remember.
I'm guessing it was raspberry.
But the only choices were 3-fruit and raspberry apple.
Yeah, they say raspberry apple, but it's what you think it is.
It's just raspberry?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this will be nostalgic, but slightly different, I guess.
I have one more share.
Holy shit, where are you? Oh, yeah, you're sharing it in multiple little places, aren't you?
I have lots of secret look at me places.
I love it.
I have a public and private Facebook and then group chats, so.
We're mukbanging.
So, when you had Fashion Flakies as a kid, did you ever microwave them?
No.
Oh, well, your world is going to be rocked.
Should we microwave one?
No. Just when you have a private moment for yourself, you're feeling good, and the white, like, caramelizes and melts into clear dink. Cheers.
Okay. And this is going to be so messy, and I don't care.
You have a small mouth. I just jammed that baby in. Tastes like my childhood.
I heard like they do live up to their name. Flaky.
Yeah. It's like imitating a pastry, but with science and formaldehyde.
And I like the sugary coating.
Yeah, the crystallization, deliciousness.
It's delicious. It's really good. It's a light snack. What's the...
This is a light snack? A Passion Flaky is a light snack for you?
It's puff pastry. This is light.
So what? That's the same calories as, I mean, this is not about calories. I'm not calorie shaming. But that's the same calories as a chocolate bar.
Fuck! You've ruined everything for me.
Welcome to my life.
Okay.
And my too tight pants need to cut back.
The next one. Fruit by the foot.
Strawberry, excellent choice. Is there actually a foot? Okay, when I was a kid, a foot seemed like so much. Mm-hmm. But as an adult, it's like, and please no one meme me making this motion, but like that's only like that much.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's kind of full. Okay,
Roll
should we
that
open it?
fucker out to see how much a foot is.
Uh-huh. I mean, I know
I
that
assume I can swear on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. It feels good, though, doesn't it? To swear.
Oh, I thought you meant the fruit by the foot. And I was like,
Okay, you take that end. I have a very important question for you after this.
this is like 2 feet.
That's not 1 foot, right? No. How would you eat a fruit by the foot?
Again, was not given fruit by the foot as a child.
How would you tackle this?
I assume we're both going to chew and then we're going to meet in
Yeah,
this little
yeah.
Lady in the Tramp style.
Let's do it.
Okay,
But we're not gonna go.
I'm just going to cheat. Well, I won that game of chicken. Small mouth catching you up. For the listeners at home, Sarah seems to be paralyzed by 3/4 of a foot of fruit by the foot. See, you need a spit bucket. This is why I have a spit bucket. She's now standing in the corner of the room, picking fruit by the foot out of her teeth.
Oh my god. Okay. I definitely have it all over my front teeth.
That's how you get the men.
about it.
That's how you get the men.
This is why I do podcasts, because no one can see me. Oh my god. What cracked me up there was the noises we were making.
You can use this audio for other purposes later. I consent to that.
Oh man. That was amazing. That made me laugh way too hard. Oh my gosh. Okay. Fruit by the foots are amazing.
Do you think that's going to be that much? Damn. It's called foot o long now. Oh no. Oh no, it's frio long. It's fruit by the foot, and then the French is foot o long.
Can you imagine if they changed the name this whole time? We're like, what? Oh,
Conspiracy theory. This is why it's shorter.
No, we're good. We're good. What is next? What can I grab?
I think we should go fruit roll up next and compare flavor.
I mean, I think I prefer the fruit by the foot.
I went searching for what is this called? Fruit roll-ups a couple years ago because I was making candy sushi. Ooh. And we couldn't find them anywhere. So they must have had a comeback.
What the fuck is green? Really?
This one's green and blue.
I want a red. I mean, like, I just feel like the fruit by the foot is more sticky and
firm.
Like, this is hard. This is
That's what
effort.
she said.
This is a lot of effort to do. So how should we eat this? Should we split in half?
I'll just have a tear.
Have a tear.
Oh, it's actually softer than I picture, maybe because it's fresh. We need to do the Trisha Paytas where you take your thumb with your long fake fingernail and go. Excellent flavor compared to the foot. It is.
It's more
tart.
Has more of a kick.
More of a kick, yeah.
Did you try the yellow?
Sure. Is it banana?
See, I feel like it all
I'm not in love with fake banana.
It all tastes the same to me.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
Which is just pure sugar.
Classic 80s childhood.
I
guess you were 90s.
I was, more
yeah,
90s.
yeah.
Yeah, 87. What is next? Gushers. One of my favorite things ever. Gushers.
Really? That's one of your favorite things ever?
Yeah, I have eaten these a lot in adult life. I will admit.
Do you remember the gummies that came in a package like Gushers, but they were like, it was like soda?
So delicious.
So delicious.
So good.
Yeah. Good times.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite So Delicious?
Again, wasn't really given them.
God damn it.
Gee, I wonder why I have a YouTube food channel trying food from around
That's
the world.
true. Me on the other hand, I'm
Compensating.
like, I've tried all this. Okay. So, there's different flavors in there.
I'm going to go red because my favorite fake flavor is always red.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not big on the gushing.
I will go green.
It gushed. There it is, gushing.
Oh my gosh.
What about that do you like?
Because
the gushing, okay. This is. I won't get.
No, yeah.
I won't get graphic.
No, get graphic.
The gushing sensation. I don't need any more gushing sensations into my mouth in my life.
I mean, I don't think it's that much of a gush, though. There's not a lot of...
It's like a pew.
There's not a lot of stuff inside the gusher.
No, there isn't.
So, I'm okay with it.
I guess I don't like the element of surprise.
And let's be honest. If that thing tastes... If what we're talking about tasted like that...
What are you talking about?
You know, cough medicine.
Cough medicine.
We do it a lot more.
Totes. Yeah.
More. I like gushers a lot.
Steven says, oh my God, now I gotta go something. Get some munchies. You do. And when you get your munchies, slide on over to Moxey Munchies on YouTube and you can have a virtual mukbang with me eating weird crap online too. I blend my life.
I feel like mukbangs are my true calling. Okay. What is next? What is next? We're gonna do these.
I mean, obviously I'm putting them on all my fingers.
Okay, well yeah, that has to happen. Okay, but they're a little hard to do that. You gotta find like the right ones.
What?
They're a little
Bugle, what's going on here?
They're not as horn shaped.
Fingers for ants?
Yeah, mine just broke.
I mean, they even advertise doing this on the bag, and you can't do it. The QA on this product is massively too low.
No. You gotta find like the... Okay, so we are eating bugles now, which is just salty
corn.
Salty corn goodness. So is the intent when they're like advertising this, like that it looks good? Like those girls with those really long nails?
You know, I think
girls have nails this long, and I don't understand it.
I think they probably made a product out of a leftover product and shoved it through an extruder at the factory, and then the finger fangs came afterwards.
Do you like them?
No. They're right up there with Triscuits.
Oh.
I would never buy these personally. Like, they're not bad, but that'd never be something I would buy. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really tuck back into some bugles.
See, I think the reason I like them so much is that I'm a salty person.
Mm-hmm. Yet, like 90% of what you bought today is sweet.
What?
Erin's laughing that your personality is salty.
I'm sweating so hard. Yeah, but I like salty more than sweet nowadays,
mm-hmm.
but I grew up on sugar.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, this is how my parents raised me. The next one.
Don't like mallow? Like, I like marshmallow, but I don't like... I'll eat it like it's sugar. It's delicious. But I would never move towards a Viva Puff or a wagon wheel or any of those. Or moon pie.
What?
Yeah. I can see this box is... Oh, did you open it, Erin? I was going to say, I can see this box has already been opened.
These... And here's how I like to eat these, everybody. Everybody watch and learn.
Just pop a whole one in.
By the way, it's Viva Puffs. And, it's marshmallow goodness with some raspberry filling.
Bugles are not my favorite either.
They're no one's favorite. They just are what they are. And they're a nostalgic snack that you can wear as fingernails.
I think Big Bugle has gotten to you.
Yeah. So here's how I like to eat a Viva Puff. Okay?
Yeah.
So you take it. Mm-hmm. And you crack it like a dinosaur egg. Okay? And then you peel off the chocolate. Like and I used to picture this as, okay, this is gonna get really, really, really weird. That scene in Jurassic Park where they're going up to the incubator and the raptor is hatching. And he's taking off the egg and he's letting the baby dinosaur come out. And I used to always picture that as this.
So you want to... I'm having trouble making sense of this situation. You want to eat the egg casing Of a baby dinosaur? Mm-hmm. Cool.
See, I'm all about the marshmallow.
I like mallow. I like marshmallow spread, whatever that's called, fluff.
Yes!
But I don't I don't like this type of marshmallow.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm making such a mess.
It's your house. You can clean it up.
Yeah, no, I love any form of marshmallow. Really.
So far, I would definitely go probably flaky as my favorite.
Okay. Out of all of my childhood snacks?
So far, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to talk about something here.
We're going to eat it raw. Mm-hmm. Were you told if you ate it raw as a child, you would get worms?
Yes.
Which is clearly nonsensical. And that was because your filthy playground hands had worms from digging in the dirt, not the actual noodles raw.
So, what the fuck were we thinking when we were kids? When we were like, you know what would make a good snack?
Let's choose the poorest poor food ever and enjoy it by breaking it up and eating it without. We would call it raw, but
oh my god,
I'm
a mess.
Are we gonna eat some flavor packet or just the straight noodle? I can go either way.
Here's how we do this. Okay, you get your flavor packet. And I remember this from elementary school. If you didn't have a bag of Mr. Noodles at recess, you were a fucking loser. You open up the chicken spice, okay?
I'm vegan.
Oh no, you can't. You can't. No, you're not. Oh no, I say. It was like my instant reaction was, oh no.
You think any of this is vegan?
No. Okay, so here we go. And then you put the spice in the Mr. Noodle.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
Okay. And gotta get all of it because you can't. It's the good shit. This is like the crack part of the Mr. Noodle, and then you shake.
Yep.
That's very important. Really want someone to come on the live stream and it's just this motion.
I was gonna be dirty and say they should zoom in on your chest right now.
Okay, it didn't mix down to the bottom as good as I wanted it to, but you get the gist, okay? So yeah. And I haven't eaten this since for a long time.
It's exactly what you imagine. I mean, it's not bad.
No.
The
noodles they feel more stale than they did when I was younger.
If you really wanted to glow it up, what you could do is make something delicious for supper and then crinkle Mr. Noodles hard on for some crunch.
Oh, hey. That's like adult Mr. Noodle.
Sure. Yeah. Stoner Mr. Noodles.
Yeah.
Make some sort of chicken gravy poutine and then and then sprinkle it on.
I'm gonna be honest. This is one of the snacks that does not hold up as good as I remember it.
What does a Mr. Noodles cost these days?
Oh my! I think it's 99 cents or 79 cents. No, how much was it?
It was 39 cents.
They're
Jesus.
still under 50 cents.
It goes to show how much I don't look at prices of things.
Clearly. I'm very price conscious personally.
I'm not at all. Is that it? Okay, we're not gonna actually eat this.
Legit had alphagetti for supper before coming here.
Any type of canned spaghetti situation was one of my favorite things to eat as a child. Even the canned, the actual canned spaghetti.
I was gonna say, for me, there's a clear distinction between alphagetti and then canned pasta with meat in it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not necessarily the meat that grossed me out, it's just the accumulation of all. Did you eat SpaghettiOs as a child with the cheese in the can?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember it being around. It's around now because the first video I attempted to make on YouTube ever, which no one can see because it's private, was SpaghettiO cupcakes with Cheez-It frosting. Totally edible.
Whoa, that's crazy. Oh, weird. Would you spell things out with your alphagetti?
No, I'd eat it. I was a fat kid. I was more into the eating portion of eating rather than the entertainment portion of eating.
Fucking fair enough. What? Okay, so I think now we have one last thing, actually. We have one of my favorite things ever, marshmallow fluff. Okay, and I think we need spoons for this.
Did you used to make your fudge with fluff? Because in my family, when you made fudge, you put fluff in it It was like, not like, it would make it that it wasn't a hard fudge. It would be like a soft, delicious, rich fudge.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think I've ever done anything with this other than eat it with a spoon.
Really?
I shit you not. Maybe a fluffer nutter sandwich.
Never had a fluffer nutter sandwich.
Pretty good. I mean, there can't be anything good in this. This is pure.
It's just whipped sugar.
This is just pure sugar.
I'm sure.
So good though on a Sunday. I like marshmallow sauce on a Sunday.
Yeah, I could fuck with that.
Yeah, it's real good. If you go to DQ, get a hot fudge.
Yeah.
Why can't I open anything? Get a hot fudge sundae. This knife. Okay.
There you go.
Oh man. Yes. I love how you've cut out a circle.
Well,
a whole circle. Okay. You take a spoon. I'm gonna take a spoon. Oh wait, we gotta eat like this. We gotta do that.
Tastes like a mouthful of fluff. Do you remember there used to be like a flavored fluff strawberry? I've never tried it.
My God.
Have you at home tried strawberry fluff? I wonder if it still exists. Maybe that's only in the States.
I know I didn't see it at Sobeys.
Maybe it was only in the States. I spent a lot of time in the States when I was a kid.
Because I would have been like, what the fuck is that? Fucking love this shit. Like, seriously? With the spoon. Love it. Love it.
What about with a bugle, though?
Oh, man. We're
Salty
changing the
sweet.
game. We're changing the game!
And the bugle is like a nice receptacle.
Ooh.
Oh, high-end eating, you could pipe the fluff into the bugle and then put some sprinkles. Not bad.
No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Not great.
It's different. That's it for my snacks, I think. I think that's it. Did we get everything?
I think so.
Other than the alfaghetti, which we did not eat.
I mean, we have a long road of
We have a long run.
British chocolate bars if you want
Here we go.
to hit that train.
So thanks so much.
My pleasure.
This was excellent, and we should hang out more.
Definitely.
I'm so stoked that you came on, that I met you, because I want to ask you 1,000 questions about everything, about YouTube and traveling and food, everything like that. So thanks so much for coming on, and tell everyone where they can find you.
So my primary function is on YouTube, Moxey, Moxey Munchies, and then you can also follow me on Instagram. I do post more of like my adventures and then food in my stories as well.
Yes, you do.
I'm on Twitter, but just follow me on Instagram. You're going to follow me somewhere. Or
It's the best place.
It's the best place. And then YouTube is where all my videos are that we talked about.
Yep.
And I usually post once a week, but more people should comment and hold me to that because I haven't been doing that.
I mean, it's hard sometimes.
And click the bell on YouTube. That's what they tell me I need to say now. You click the bell to be notified of new videos.
Yeah.
I did film a video today. Ooh. Hoping it'll be up within a week.
Ooh.
Now, you watch a lot of YouTube.
I do.
Do you know what Gucci slides are?
Yes.
I made them out of Rice Krispie squares.
What? Hang on. Hang on.
Gucci slides.
Gucci slides. Do you know what Gucci slides are?
Oh, trust me. Think of those like Adidas 3-stripe sandals, but they're Gucci and $500.
And some of them are rhinestoned, or like
Some of them are rhinestoned,
sequined.
and like Shane Dawson's are white, and stuff. But I just made classic black with green and red stripe.
Oh my god!
Because it's kind of like my Tide Pod Oreo video. I was so tired, and the meme was dead. Seeing the video of Tide Pod Oreos and people like wanting to eat Tide Pods, that I was like, I need to be an angry old lady on YouTube about these freaking Gucci slides.
Yes, you do.
And I was in a YouTuber chat, and I was like, yeah, I was gonna do this video doing renovations. I feel like I've missed peak Gucci slide, and someone's like, oh, you haven't missed peak. So today I made sandals out of Rice Krispie squares, because that's something you do in your 30s.
My god, I love it. Could you actually walk with them?
Well, you'll have to tune in to
Oh,
see.
you got to tune it. When's that going to be out? Next week?
Hopefully next week.
You need to subscribe to her channel because I really enjoy it. It's fantastic.
Thank you. It's a good time.
And you're Moxey Munchies on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm
right?
on Moxey Munchies on everything, including
Lucky.
Snapchat. But
Snapchat.
I don't use Snapchat.
You're on it because the kids are on it.
I look at Simply Nailogical and Shane Dawson. That's it.
I love Shane Dawson. He's my favorite.
Are you OG Shane? Because
No.
I only started watching him probably 10 months ago.
I started watching him like 3 years ago.
He is killing it.
He's doing,
And not because he's a huge guy, but just like he's totally pivoted, which I know he does often anyway.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
most recent pivot is just like balls to the wall, TV quality content.
documentary style, like
Yeah.
Netflix style.
And some of it I'm like, okay, this doesn't answer all the questions, blah, blah, blah. But I find like for his level of experience doing that stuff and knowing what his audience wants, because I know I'm not his typical audience, he is just killing it.
Killing it. And did you watch the Jeffree Star series?
Yes.
Yeah, that one was insane. And the TanaCon, all the TanaCon stuff. Oh my God.
The TanaCon thing was like ripe for someone to just grab on, and he did a really good job
In a timely fashion.
putting it out quickly.
Yeah.
Riding the wave of while it was still at the front of everyone's mind.
And he got footage of her. Like, it's her in the thick of it. Going through it.
And yesterday I did see an article that the Segway guy has now pivoted his company to be TV shows. So he's like, oh, that was an old company and this is a new company, but he still named it the same name.
What
Good
was it?
Times.
Good Times Entertainment or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn.
I just
What a fucking hot mess.
I find it strange that Shane has mentored Tana, yet she's still a train wreck.
Very, very good point.
And she did this
Very
series
good
like
point.
about this whole TanaCon thing about VidCon and all this. I've been to VidCon.
Have you?
Yeah. Long story.
Oh.
And she's just a young kid who like
Doesn't know what the heck she's doing. Really is what it is. I don't think she meant to hurt anyone at all.
Well, just
I
even
think
like
she
her
just-
story about VidCon, I think she just doesn't know
Yeah.
that this
She's
is
not aware.
this is a serious business and you need to conduct yourselves behind the scenes like a serious business. You can't just use your on-screen persona when it's the nails and the
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've never really been into her anyways.
No,
But,
I can't make it through a video.
Like, she does say things that are kind of funny, but it never hooked me to a point of being a fan like I am with, like, Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson. Like, those are my two favorites.
Yeah.
They're my favorites.
Yeah.
And even Jenna right now is just doing, like, whatever the fuck she wants. She doesn't care. She's just doing literally whatever she wants, and people like her for her, so they watch.
Yeah,
You
and,
know,
and
like-
she doesn't seem to push content like she does her once a week, and then she's good, and she just lives her life. Just
Exactly.
living the dream, right?
Just living the fucking dream. All those dogs, a nice house, jealous. The fuck is that noise?
It's a car.
That car's going through something.
It needs a new timing belt. Anyway,
We're gonna close it out, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the mukbang. I hope this won't be the last one.
you'll have to start doing them.
I would like to keep doing them and get. I would love to do a popcorn mukbang sometime.
Really?
Different kinds of popcorn. I also feel like I make the best popcorn ever. I feel like I want to do a taste test between my popcorn and Cineplex and see which one people like better.
One of my most popular videos is how to make popcorn in the microwave. And I literally just you just put it in a bowl and microwave it. You don't put anything in it.
Just like the kernels? In
Just
a
like
bowl?
you just put the kernels in a microwave safe
Really?
bowl. Yeah.
I make mine with the whirly pop.
I'm an old lady.
It makes the best popcorn.
I've just accepted in my life I don't care about popcorn. I just
Really?
like butter. It's just a butter delivery mechanism. I don't need to eat actual popcorn. I just want the butter.
It's a butter delivery mechanism.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's true. The butter definitely makes it. I have a special ingredient in mine, so that's why it's the best. But
Is it weed?
no. Weed popcorn?
I don't know, man. The kids are doing things.
Ground that out and sprinkle it over it?
I'm sure people make that.
Yeah, maybe.
That was even a thing on that show Weeds. She made the popcorn balls.
Yeah. Oh, I loved that show.
Yeah.
Except for the last 2 seasons. Not the best.
I love that show except 30% of it. It had run its course.
It ran its course exactly. Exactly. I still cry at the end. I'll see like shows like that I'll see through to the end just because I just need to, you know?
Yeah.
So, but you're doing a fucking great job. And
Thank you.
Dig everything you're doing. I think you're so natural and amazing on camera. Like, you know how to talk to a camera. And that's like a skill not many people have.
I
talking
guess.
to the camera. It's really not everyone has that skill and you do it really well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're natural. So thanks so much for coming on and do the honors and ring that bell. Give it a big ding.